Alright, here's an idea of what's going on so far. Like I said, I have two batteries down there, just test batteries. They're not even the same size, which is a no-no. If you're going to work solar and wind turbines, you want your batteries to be the same. Because if one battery, like for instance the smaller one, takes the charge quicker, it'll shut off the charge, so that the bigger one will never complete its charge. So you want them all the same, identicals. So that's important. So like I say, those are just here for now because I want to do something outside or build a cover with a vent to go outside. I really don't want my batteries being vented off inside because I don't want the fumes. Anyway, there's the input coming in from the solar panel. There's the output going to the batteries. So this will regulate the amount of voltage and amperage going into the batteries. Once the batteries get to their max potential, this will shut off so it won't overcharge those. Now coming off of those, I came up here with a breaker, not a breaker, but a 8-bang fuse holder for 12 volt and a fuse block, a ground block rather, I'm sorry. So now anything I want to tie into, I'll just tie into it. I'll come up here, come across here, and shoot right across with it. So before I finish stapling all these, or tacking all these wires in place, I want to figure out just how many I need to bring up, how many I'm going to bring across, and how many I may keep over on this side. So I have to make those determinations. So anyway, other than that, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. It's nothing fancy. It's not a big elaborate system. There's one large panel up there and a wind turbine. The wind turbine doesn't do anything unless it's turning. So luckily, normally in the winter months, we get a good north wind, which is coming from back there, which normally blows and cranks that turbine like crazy. However, normal winters. Now I also put that little catch there because I want to have a strain relief so that I'm not putting a lot of tension onto the two units themselves. And I have another one down there. So like I say, everything will be tied in, and I'll have some there with a little bit of play so there won't be any tugging or strain on those wires. But like I say, it's not an elaborate system, it's not an expensive system. However, that one panel and the wind turbine, when I originally installed them, and I had 12 Group 31 deep cycle batteries, and I ran it all underground to the house, which was about 70 feet. Actually, I think I did a video when I was pulling it all out. However, and I had an inverter in the house. Well, I had two inverters, but one of them was the better of the two. And I wired, because I was able to get into my basement, it wasn't a finished basement, I wired a plug in every room to that inverter, and all the night lights and one light in every room was tied to that as well. And you know what? And all the kitchen lights actually. So whenever we were cooking, the kitchen light over the stove, you know, under the microwave, the kitchen lights under the cabinets, all right, all those lights except for the ceiling light were all on that battery pack that I had of 12 deep cycles with one solar panel and one wind turbine. And it ran like 1/3 of my house because the light we used at night when watching TV was one of those curly cube bulbs. I believe it was like maybe a 14 watt, gave us a 60 watt efficient. I mean, so it's about the equals, yeah, it equaled 60 watts. I'm sorry. You know, so you know what? It was fine. It was great for watching TV. The wife had one in her light over her shoulder, so she was able to read. The TV was on naturally, but that wasn't on the hookup. Only the lights and things were. So, but we ran 1/3 of our house off of that one solar panel. Now I didn't have it going direct feed into the UI. I wasn't back feeding it. I just hooked it up as an independent off the grid with no issues, and it worked. So anyway, I just cut a piece of ply. I'm going to cover this and at least get that much of it out of the way, and then slide it underneath for now. Alright, so anyway, where are we? We've got that. We've got the lighter plug, we got banana plugs, we got a hot and ground post, we have a set of cables with clips on them, alligators. The power is 2 inches longer than the negative, so that if they just drop and hang, they're not going to short out. So that's that. The white wires are going to get tied into a fuse block, which is going to be probably right here on this thing up here, which will be fed from the main over there. So that's where we're at with that. Now, when that's drying, what I'm thinking of doing is, if I can find a camera cheap enough that has night, vision, and small enough, because what I want to do is I want to put it into a birdhouse. I got to build another set of condos, all right, heated condos, all right, duplex, whatever, 6 units side by side, heated. I've got one out there already. But anyway, my thought is, if I can find a camera that's small enough, wireless, with night vision, that would be, give a pretty good picture at micro, close up. What I was thinking about doing was building one into the birdhouse, like up in the ceiling, the roof of the birdhouse, looking down into like a nest, and open it up to the public as an open channel, so anybody can tap into it at any time. And when the birds decide to go in there and start doing their nesting and their family making, we can watch them. So that's what I'm thinking of. Now the drop cam, the camera portion itself is the perfect size. You don't need the bracket. I can always just epoxy the camera head up into the top, the roof of the ceiling of the birdhouse. However, they're $160, $170, $200 for those damn things. So I got to find one that's going to be small enough that I can put in there. It's going to be protected from the elements, as far as rain and all that. It won't be totally protected from the cold. However, if I put it into the one that I'm going to be building shortly, which is going to be a heated unit, it'll be 6 houses, 6 birdhouses, side by side, duplex. And at that point they will be heated, so I might be able to put it into one of those, and the temperature would probably okay, because I have one out there now, a 6 unit that's heated, and it's even in the cold weather, it seems to maintain about 36, 38 degrees, even in the real cold, frigid weather with the wind and all that. So that might be a way to go. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm thinking about it. I'll let you know. Alright, so where am I and what have I done? I have no idea where I am, nor do I know what I've done. What I have done, I ran, this is number 4, and it's that Super Flex. It's like welding cable. It's tons of strands. So the more strands, the better. The more strands, the more flexible. So anyway, I ran a negative and a positive over here. Again, the positive is a little shorter than the negative. I'm going to put a fuse block here and a negative grounding block here. Just like what I have over there. That fuse and all that will take care of anything I got to do over there within that wall, whatever. Over here, I was going to run two separate individual number 10s or 8s. And then I said, you know what, that's stupid. Which it was. Because the more I think about it, I said, you know, I have this wire. It's not like I haven't got it. So I ran one number 4. Now what I'll do is I'll come off of here with the fuse block, and I can feed the radio area, and I can run a line all the way across underneath here, and I can feed all these. So it made life a lot easier. If I hadn't had enough of number 4, then I would have done it with the other. But I realized that I had a whole shitload of it laying around, so I said, you know what? Let me use it. So that's what I did. So I'm going to end up tying those in to the battery down here. Again, these are temporary. I have to do something over here. That's why I gave myself enough wire to deal with it. That wire down there, it's just wire that came in from outside. It's a redundant cable. It's not hooked up to anything anywhere, but it does travel all the way up the tower. So if I do need it for some reason or another, it's there for me. As long as I was running the wire, might as well have run the wire. So that's what we did. My batteries are showing 12.7 volt, and even with the way it is, it was giving me 1.7 amp charge. So I can deal with that. And the wind turbine's not going either. So I'm curious to see where that jumps up to once the turbine starts to spin. So as much as I don't want cold, windy weather, I'd like to get a little bit of it so I can see what happens with the turbine. The wind turbine. Alright, anyway, there's some leftover wire, so I'll clean that up, get that done. And you know what I started, and I forgot all about it? I pulled out the Kydex. I got to make a holster for that little 32 Beretta that I bought. And I got to order, I'll probably order 10 boxes of ammo for it Monday. Maybe more, I don't know, but at least 10. And we'll see what happens there. So, what time is it? It is 3 o'clock. I'm not going to really have time to make the holster, so I'm just going to putz around and clean up a little bit. I got that pretty well set. I got a back on it, put 2 sides on it. Took an old piece of leftover ply, scrap, and I just put it there. Screw it. I'm not looking for anything fancy. Alright, what I'll do is I'll put a little piece of wood going across here, just so that nothing will fall off. And the battery's going dead. And I'm in the red. I'm in the red. It's going dead. So let me do what I got to do, and I'll catch you guys later. Okay, battery's going dead fast. Anyway, give you an idea what I'm talking about. This is the outdoor floodlight, 12 volt, remote. It's a remote spotlight, and like I said, I give myself a little extra wire right now because I'm still organizing things over here. But I wanted to give you an idea. So now it's hooked up to a fuse and a ground. Wires all tucked in, down inside, behind all this, and it goes outside. And it covers that little light that you see right out there. Light on, light off. So we're all set with that. This is some wire, scrap wire that I have left over, so I can still use this for little short runs. I have the rolls still here, and I still have about another 80 feet of number 4 out in the shed out there. So I should have more than enough wire to finish up whatever it is I want to do over here. So getting that done underneath there, and that's about it. So other than that, I think we're kind of done here for today. It's almost 4 o'clock.